when you just slow down and look into the person's eyes that you're speaking to, I guarantee you, you will start commanding more of their attention. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Elena is my name, and today we're going to talk about confident body language. Now, have you ever been in a room full of people and you're feeling insecure and you're wondering, is there anything you can do right there and then to make yourself look more confident? Or have you been observing a certain person and are wondering, what is it that they're doing that is making them look so confident? And most of the time, they're not actually doing anything as such. Now, a really important thing to note is that you do not need to be a loud and an extroverted person to appear confident. You do not need to be the most attractive person in the room to command attention. In fact, the tips that I'm about to give you, they're very suitable for introverts because they actually require very little implementation. I'm going to give you 3 tips that you can use to make yourself appear more self-confident, even when you don't feel like that 100%. I look like a doctor today. Guys, the first tip that I'm going to share with you is your posture. Your posture is paramount. Despite being a very simple tip, I am always surprised at how many people forget about this. Walking down the street, about 80% of the people that I see, they are walking with a horrific posture. The first thing that people notice about you, it is not your beautiful eyes or your smile or your voluptuous breasts or your big bulging muscles if you're a guy. Before you even get close for the person to notice that, from afar, the first thing that the person notices about you is how you hold yourself, your posture. And more often than not, they notice it on a more of a subconscious level. They're not thinking, oh, that girl has a great back, great posture, she must be so confident. It all happens subliminally. When you walk with your back straight, your neck elongated, your chin parallel to the ground, that makes a huge difference, not only in how others perceive you, but in how you perceive yourself. There's actually been studies done to show that when a person straightens up, the level of testosterone in their body increases and the level of cortisol, which is the stress hormone, that decreases. So what you're essentially doing is you're sending messages and signals to your brain telling you that you are stronger and more confident. You are tricking your brain into believing something that might not yet have manifested, which is actually super cool. It's a bit like manifestation and positive words of affirmation. When you repeat certain words or certain actions every single day, they become part of your routine, part of your habit, and with time, they actually become a part of who you are. Because our life, it is not this one big event. Our life is comprised of small events, often repeated actions, repeated on a regular or a daily basis. They make us who we are. So the books we read, the food we eat, the content on TV, the social media, everything that we consume becomes a part of who we are. So when we act in a certain way every single day, when we're walking with our back straight, we're emanating this strong, powerful energy, we become powerful. When you start believing that you are powerful and confident, that takes your confidence to a whole different level. However, before you get to that level, you can, like I said before, trick your mind into believing that you are. It's like the phrase, fake it till you make it. That phrase has a lot of truth in it. One really cool thing that I noticed, and this is fascinating for me, is When I walk with my back straight and I have my head held high, I no longer attract the riffraff of the street. I no longer get catcalls from insecure people, from people who don't say anything to your face, who say things to you when you've crossed them and they're already behind you. The people who just want to latch onto you and suck out your energy. They no longer look at you as a victim that they can overpower. They're actually put off and are scared of you. And the people you end up attracting are the people who are confident, friendly, full of life, the kind of people that you want to be with. And that is really, really cool, because when confident and cool and kind people see that in others, they want to be closer to that. And you start attracting a similar kind of energy. That is another reason why you should straighten out your back when you go to a party. Because if you're like this at a party, well, guess what? Who's going to come over to you and talk to you? It's going to be all the losers, and you don't want that. When I walk into a place and I'm powerful, I'm strong, I'm tall, my posture is, the kind of people that come up to me are. The second tip that I'm going to give you, and that is super easy to implement, is stop fidgeting. Stop moving. Now, this is especially useful when you're at a social setting, like a party or an event. What usually happens is when people walk in, they walk into a room full of people. They don't necessarily know these people. And even if they do know these people, we usually feel under a bit of pressure. We're nervous. And what we usually start to do is we fidget. We look around the room, we're pacing the room, our eyes are darting here and there, we're fidgeting with our arms, we're fidgeting with our hair, we're tugging at our clothes, making sure that the skirt isn't too short, that your belly. Stop fidgeting, right? When you're fidgeting, you are sending out the signal that you're insecure and that you do not want to be in this place. And when people look at you, you do not look confident. Now, one of my favorite things to do when I enter a room or I enter a party is I always have something in my hand. It can be a little handbag or it can be a little bottle of water. I personally love the bottled water because it is something I can play around with without being...
Oh, I'm gonna sneeze.
That will ensure that I'm not going to be fiddling with my hands. I'm not going to be tugging at my nails because, like other people, I often do feel a little bit shy, a little bit nervous. When you're standing there at the bar, do not pace on the spot. Do not move around too much. Now, if there's music playing along, great. Bob along to the music. I'm not telling you to resist your natural body movements. What I am telling you is to resist those tiny movements that we tend to insert into our repertoire when we feel insecure. When we do that, other people perceive this. Now, one good example that I can think of is Thomas Shelby from the Peaky Blinders. Now, there's many qualities that Thomas Shelby possesses that make him an alpha, confident, powerful character. And one of those things that I noticed is that he does not fidget. He is always able to maintain his composure, poise. He is always so cool, does not fidget. Even when shit hit the fan around him, everyone is losing control, screaming, freaking out. Tommy Shelby is still. He does not fidget. And that is a strong indication of power. Just like a peacock who opens up his chest and spreads out his feathers, when you straighten out your back, you are telling the world who is the boss. That is Thomas Shelby. He's a peacock. The last tip that I'm going to give you is extremely simple but really effective, and it kind of relates to the previous tip. But one thing that you can do to make yourself feel more confident is to slow down, okay? Again, Thomas Shelby is a perfect example of this. When people are nervous or insecure, they don't feel confident, we often tend to speed up what we're trying to say. We're babbling, we're no longer coherent, blah, blah, blah. Now, when you just slow down and look into the person's eyes that you're speaking to, I guarantee you, you will start commanding more of their attention. There you go, guys. 3 simple but effective tips that you can start implementing to make you feel more confident. If you've tried them out, let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up. And if you want, subscribe to my channel because I will be posting more content pertaining to the topic of confidence. I'll see you soon.